I want to tell you a story. A true story. A story that happened to a friend of mine only 2 or 3 days ago. My friend is a woman, and she went to Target to go get clothes. She found a blue dress that she liked, so she headed over to the change room. Went into those, individual cubicle, like, change room style booths. Started to get undressed. All of a sudden, the door to the booth bursts open, and there's a 16-year-old boy standing at the door, looking at her, naked, laughing to himself, with his girlfriend right there. My friend shrieked, as you imagine it would if you walking on a woman while she's changing. She yelled at him to get out, and the boy said, "I'm a woman. I belong here." And as she was trying to close the door, he was leering at her. His girlfriend thinking it was funny the entire time. So what she did was, she put her clothes back on, went to the cash register to talk to an employee. And the employee said, "I'm very sorry for what happened, but it's our policy." Another employee laughed at her for being uncomfortable that this young man was leering at her. And didn't just leer at her, burst open the door to her changing booth to leer at her. Another woman thought this was funny. They thought her discomfort at being leered at and spied upon by this young man was funny. Now, my friend can't go to the police and report this basically an act of assault, because then she might get arrested for exposing herself to a minor. And that's exactly what they would claim, that she was flashing this young man. And she would be the one in trouble. And she would be the one up on charges. And she has children to take care of. So she couldn't do anything about it. Then, as she was leaving the store, having left her merchandise behind, because who wants to give money to a business that just did that to her, the boy and what appeared to be his girlfriend went outside. And they ridiculed her as she was leaving. There was nothing she could do. She couldn't call the police. She couldn't report it to Target because they wouldn't do anything. So she had to stand there and be humiliated on her way back to the car. These two people laughing at her for being uncomfortable. And she was frightened the entire time. This guy, bigger than her, burst the door open of her change room to look at her. And she was powerless to do anything about it. He was too strong, and Target was unwilling to help. And the police probably would have prosecuted her because it would count as flashing a minor. Take from this story what you will. Take whatever side in this story you want. I'm only presenting the facts of what happened. You can decide for yourself what that means. But when you do, imagine that's your mother. Imagine that's your sister, your sister-in-law, your daughter. Think about that when you decide whose side of that story you're on.